Today we're going to be talking about what is cultivation. Allow me to explain this to you, because I'm not going to say this is one of the most asked things in my comment section, because it isn't anymore, but it was for a long time when I used to talk about cultivation. I was back to back to back. I don't really that much anymore. Let's just get into it already. So what to even go over in this video today: what is cultivation, then what to expect in cultivation, and then some of the key / common cultivation stages. Now let's just get into it already. Starting off with what is cultivation. See, I got a little yin yang symbol right at the top right there. You know, I'm upgrading the PowerPoints. I'm getting it some extra design. Now, a lot of people think cultivation is like the most known definition of cultivation, like actually planting, the essence of like gardening, planting crops and herbs. And you could say that's technically cultivation, but that's not cultivation, but it is cultivation. So what is cultivation to begin with then? What is the essence of cultivation? So I'm gonna explain to you right here. I don't want to hear nobody talking about cultivation novels being like, what is cultivation? When watching my videos, watch this video, man. Somebody, if you see somebody who's lost, who stumble upon the sect and be like, what is this sect? What is this about? Please link them this video. Tell them to go watch this video, because this is very, very important. Zenzia, immortal hero. That's literally what it means. Cultivation is the practice of absorbing, refining, and storing chi, spiritual or cosmic energy, in one's body, usually in the dantian. Basically, to explain it, is like the energy or shield tank in somebody's body, basically, to improve health, extend lifespan, and ultimately transcend mortality to become immortal or Xian. You get it? Because Zia is the hero, Xian is immortal. Put it together, immortal hero. Okay. It is rooted in real-world Qigong and Taoist meditation, but dialed up to superhuman levels with magic, mythical beasts, sects, and world-shaking power struggles. And when I mean world-shaking, I mean, I'm probably putting it lightly, bro. We're talking about usually universal shaking power struggles. There isn't a hard set way to cultivate, although this is the most common way. More ways include, because guys, if you watch my channel, you know there's multiple ways to cultivate. Chi / spiritual energy cultivation. This is, guys, can we please stop with this madness, man? Like, I'm sick and tired of seeing just the normal chi / spiritual energy cultivation, man. It's just too normalized. Can we get some different type of shit, like body cultivation, man? I think body cultivation, I haven't seen it enough. I've seen it in an auxiliary way, but I'm seeing a lot of people start to use it as like the main way to cultivate, especially on the webnovel.com, and I'm liking it, man. And another one is soul cultivation. Now, this is one that we don't really see a lot of yet. Still, I think it's very hard to kind of make a system around soul cultivation. I think the only one we really seen of this is the Primordial Record with his Soul Reaver bloodline, but that's the closest I've seen where soul cultivation is actually important. Maybe Lord of Mysteries like this, but I don't consider that a cultivation novel. Although in a sense, they are going up certain realms. They're not actually using anything like some spiritual energy or cosmic energy and absorb it into somebody in their body in some type of way. I would consider it one. And obviously there's more ways like bloodline cultivation, dual cultivation, but I'm gonna have a whole video on explaining all the different types of ways that you can cultivate in the cultivation world. So what to even expect in a cultivation novel? Dang, it's already been 8 minutes. This might be a high value. So I laid out 8 things that you can probably expect. I'm blocking one of them. One of them is something very, very crazy. So let's first off start with this first one. Face slapping. It's just a fun way to describe the moment when the MC, aka the hero, publicly humiliates someone who's been looking down on them. So let's just say somebody who's been at level 15 is looking down on the MC because they think he's at level 5. Little do they know, he's at level 20, and he's gonna one-tap the guy at level 15, embarrass him in front of his friends, and might even steal all his riches. That's basically face slapping. I mean, face slapping is common in most medias once you know this definition. I see it everywhere now. Power progression in tiers. Cultivation in itself inherently got a whole power system in it that has a whole power progression in different tiers to it. So obviously characters can rise from weak mortal stages to godlike heights via well-defined cultivation realms. Another common theme you might see is some magical treasures, some pills, rare artifacts, spiritual herbs, alchemical pills that boost cultivation or heal fatal wounds. Definitely on the heal fatal wounds part, but it's most definitely on the boost cultivation. Read You definitely want to. No, don't read that. This is for people who don't know cultivation novels. Do not read that. That's a crazy scripture. I can't. I have to blur that out, bro. I just said a crazy divine scripture. Whoa, that's a taboo. I just said a straight up taboo. You can't know that. And actually, if you do cause a taboo in most cultivation novels, you will cause a heavenly tribulation, which are divine storms or lightning that test and often kill cultivators who push too far. Obviously, our MC is going to either learn how to absorb it, skip it entirely, finesse it somehow, use it to empower himself. Reincarnation in alternate timelines. I have to explain this actually. Like, I mean, some heroes get to get a do-over with memories and tackling and bypass early struggles. Don't read that though. Oh my god, I gotta delete that out. Bro, you can't know about that scripture. That's taboos. But let's just say there's a peak divine scripture that basically gives the MC something that makes it this heavenly. So even peak have it. Oh shit, I kind of teased it, right? Philosophical undercurrents, themes of fate and free will, balance of yin and yang, evil and good, and the Tao, aka the way, is woven through action. Everything that happens is through these themes in a cultivation novel. I have yet to see any cultivation novel that deviates from these themes is besides Beware the Chicken. And even Beware the Chicken, I still see it. You can't dodge this. It's impossible, bro. It's truly impossible, bro. Like, when we gonna get something where the MC just do something different? Do I have to pop out with my novel and just say harem, where a male protagonist is surrounded by multiple female characters who are romantically interested in him? Ooh, we love the harems. Come on, bro. You click on my channel, you see how much I hate harems. If you don't know where harems is, there go the definition. I'm pretty sure if you watched anime before, this is not a foreign concept to you. If you've been dodging it in the anime, that's viable. You could do that with anime. If you've been dodging it with the novels, well, if you just cut off 85% of the content, like you just let you like holy moly, bro. Like with anime, bro, like, oh yeah, you cut off an arm, it's fine, bro. You want to dodge harems in novels? Oh yeah, you cut off most of the media, bro. GG's. Now this one right here is legendary, bro. Dual cultivation, where two people have intercourse to exchange energies to level up / cultivate together. They might be like, what's with the shirt change? My audio messed up halfway through the recording. None of it recorded. Now I gotta re-record this bitch. If you like smut novels, cool. That's whatever. Do you, bro. I don't care, gang. Now let me explain some of the key stages in cultivation. Now you're gonna see this in most novels, especially in the Chinese side of novels. You might not see this in the Western novels or the webnovels.com novels, but this is very, very common in Chinese novels. These 4 stages, unless they change it up on some crazy kooky way, like a regressive tale of cultivation, most cultivation novels you read is gonna have this stage in it. These stages in it. First step is chi refining. All you have to do is gather the ambient chi / spiritual energy in the air and open your meridians using that energy and guide it to your dantian to build a sea of chi or a chi sea. That's sometimes the name of the realm in certain novels. Sometimes it's different. Renegade Immortal has something completely different. Then we have foundation building, solidifying your body's foundation to hold more chi. This could be done by circulating chi in the body multiple times or by refining chi. At this stage, you're able to do alchemy, have spiritual sense, and use spells. And in some novels, you can fly. I mean, in this stage. That's how you know you're just gonna be brain rot. If you see that, brain rot. And then golden core. The cultivator forms a luminous core inside the dantian like a sacred energy reservoir, granting explosive power and near immortality. Grants some near 500 plus lifespans usually. And a mishap here when trying to break into it could be nearly fatal. Sometimes it's a pill inside their body. Like I said, sometimes it's mind palaces. I mean, I didn't say that. I said that in my last recording, but oh well. And then finally we have Nascent Soul, which is when the golden core hatches into a spiritual embryo, often pictured as a baby's soul. This marks true semi-immortality. And what they mean by semi-immortality is if your body ends up crumbling like your physical body, you can live on as a spiritual soul. If you have a technique to take over somebody's body, or you have a technique to rebuild your body somehow, well, that grants you semi-immortality. And then you also granted profound spiritual perception and also analogs to birthing your soul too. Because anything to do with the soul in cultivation novels is considered mysterious and elusive. So if you're doing some crazy soul shit, like you evaporating niggas' souls, like, oh my god, god dang, you're doing some crazy stuff. Only heaven could do that. Now, what are the best cultivation novels to read? Now, I only recommend 2 starter novels for you. Now, a lot of people got mad in my last video because I told you not to read cultivation novels, and I told you specifically to not read BRAINROT and to not read Peak. peak, which sounds really confusing and conflicting. But if you're starting to read cultivation novels, I don't even want to convolute you with those terms. Just start off reading these two so you can be able to understand most of the tropes that you'll be able to get into when reading cultivation novels. I'm not going to give you peak because I feel like that's going to skew your perceptive, and you're not going to want to read cultivation novels ever again after reading some peak shit. I'm not going to name the peak because those are grand taboos that I'll have to censor out. I don't want the grand archives to come down and come shoot me down with light. But what I can promise you is that these two novels I'm going to give you is going to cover all the tropes that you ever need to know in cultivation, bro. These are going to cover most of the tropes, even some of the brain rot, even though you don't know that term, but you're going to understand it when you see it, and even some of the good ones. You know what I mean? So I'm just letting you know that you're going to get a good story out of these two, or well enough story. You know what I mean? The easily digestible. The best one to guide you in your own basic path, okay? Martial World. This got absolutely everything. Bloodline, transformations, young masters, J beauties, harems, dual cultivation, body transformation, the MC that get the special treasure, the underdog, the face slapping, old monsters. Oh, you thought this realm was the one? No, it's the higher realms. Combining both the physical and the chi refining methods together. Man in heaven. Oh, God. And that devil, come on. Man, I'm sorry, excuse me. It was just too much peak. I'm sorry. But please watch this. This is going to definitely cover everything that you're going to see in cultivation novels. The reason why I recommend this, some people might consider this peak. It really isn't. I'm sorry. I feel like this is pretty outdated. I would have put Quill and Dragon there, but the story's actually a little too good. And then next up, we got Top Tier Providence. How can I forget about this, man? This is a system novel. System novels get pretty crazy in cultivation novels. System novels in general are pretty crazy. This shows you a MC actually abusing their system, using the system the right way, actually how it's actually supposed to be. Not gonna be overly righteous. This is actually gonna be a cool, calm, collected MC. Actually a funny novel. The manhwa kind of cursed it. Don't read the manhwa. A lot of people like the manhwa. I say if you never read the novel, read the manhwa. Actually, read the manhwa then. Okay, but I'm just telling you, the novel way better. The novel really, Hanju, the novel way better. That's a whole video at another time. Being boy Boofy, K Boopek, I'm out. Peace.